That's all I better sing so that YouTube doesn't get angry with me. Hey everybody, welcome to
Hi,
another
everyone.
Myths, Legends, and
Hi.
Mysteries. So nice to have Scott again reading with me. Hello, Scott. And our
Hi.
what's the most popular? There's a word that everyone seems to be using this past year, going into the new year. It's called intrepid. I'm not sure.
Intrepid. That's Lena
Every,
Rodriguez, the Intrepid Viewers. That she started that.
so I was going to say, and our
That's
intrepid
how I
guest,
bought
and I'm
her
thinking, is
T-shirt.
she intrepid?
I'm an Intrepid viewer.
She's an intrepid viewer, and our wonderful guest reader, intuitive, psychic, everything. Valerie from
Everything,
Dragonfly
Valerie.
Crystals. Both
Hi,
Scott and
everyone.
Val's
Who's
links are
making
in
us
the
so
description.
jealous in Cabo?
Yes, hanging out at the beach, eating good food,
Lots of good food.
belly dancing not so great. Her hips are totally lying. This one, but
The belly dancing.
we were having a conversation before even Scott jumped on. So Scott's probably
Oh,
going,
so there's
huh?
some dancing there you haven't really
They have a
done?
Lebanon restaurant and they had belly dancing, but it
Oh,
wasn't quite the belly dancing that you are used to seeing
Yeah.
like in Greek restaurants. So, you know, a little less belly and lot more hands.
oh. You didn't jump right up and start showing your stuff?
No,
No.
Like, come
I
on,
did.
get up
I
there.
didn't have enough to drink for that.
See, that was the thing with me when I would go out with my friends. I'd be on the dance floor. Oh, come on, no, we haven't drank yet. Why do you need a drink? So I could do it. I'm like, oh, and I just be out, karaoke.
You definitely
doing.
need it. You need it to do it.
Okay, so I put the link in also the description of the real good video that was put together by AJ and his sidekick Hecklefish, and I think Hecklefish is his wife. I'm pretty sure of it, but
Oh,
it's a great little dynamic duo that they got going. When you take such a serious subject matter, but
Mhm.
then also pairing it with the humor, and I've been following AJ now for about 6 months, and I sent the video initially to Scott saying, "Hey, check this out." And later on, a couple weeks ago, when I said, we haven't done a mystery together, is there something that you like to revisit or something that you hadn't read when you were with Andrea? And he was like, well, how about the Circleville Letters? I'm like, ooh, true crime, unsolved mystery. Yes, let's do that. So, and Val was happy to join us. So, and we have Aries Girl. Hi, Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Oh, hi, Allison.
Oh, it's about a 3-hour drive. Oh, I didn't know, Allie, you were in Ohio. Very cool. So really quick, everybody's popping in. We have um, Dragonfly Crystals here. Hi, Val.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm in the chat and here.
We have Kala Lizzie, Voyager Intrepid. We have Dina. Hello, Dina. Thank you for being here. I did see Isadora Smith. Hi. Your name is familiar. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Viviani, Teresa. Of course, we got Allison. Allison has her channel up too and running. So, Allie, I think you are a mod. I can't show blue here, but go ahead and put your link in the chat. Um, and I think I have Isadora. Oh, I met you through Black Cat Tarot. Okay, through Maya's channel. Awesome. So we are here to read on the Circleville Letters, and boy, oh boy, talk about convoluted. Um, it's like the who done it of who done it's, and
Yeah.
It is.
it's started back in the 70s, and kind of first of all, Scott, do you want me to tell them a little bit about the case, or did you want to
No,
initial?
go ahead. I'm actually reading it quick to get the names
Okay.
you can talk about it.
Okay, so Circleville is in Ohio. I can't remember where they said it wasn't far from. I did have it written down at some point. Not far from Columbus, Ohio. And it's a small community. Well, back then in the 70s, this started around 76. And what I didn't realize, I thought it was only, lasted for about maybe a few months to a year, but um, things have been popping up on and off ever since. But basically, one day a blocky handwritten letter appeared in an individual's mailbox, and I'm trying to find her name because there are so many names here. And so, do. So I believe it was Mary and Ron Gillespie. So Mary was a bus driver and was accused of having an affair with the superintendent, or the superintendent was trying to. Okay, this is how it started. The superintendent, his last name is Massey. I did have it written down here. This is how convoluted it is. And what happened was, is that apparently, or according to the letter, Massey had hit on this individual's wife, well, girlfriend, excuse me, and other female bus drivers, and said that this has to stop. And so the letters initially started going, saying that you need to turn yourself in, you need to admit what you're doing. You're having, I mean, it just blew up. It went from initially this letter being received stating that he was having this guy was going around trying to have affairs with married women, a girlfriend, to the point where if it, and this person who was ever writing these letters had such extreme insight knowledge of the people involved in their personal life, right down to the bus drivers, the people that he was writing the letters to, their own private number, employee number, that's in the school system, that the superintendent would know. Oh boy, already. Ugh. So accusations started, letters, stop having an affair on your husband. Let me pull this back down, people, because this is just absolutely insane. I wrote a lot of notes. Okay, so West Wesleyan Sheriff. Okay, 48 hours. And recently, even 48 hours. Here, let me cross that out. Covered it on their channel in 2021. Um, One of the letters wanted Mary to admit that she was having an affair with the superintendent. And of course, she said no. Um, and the letter, she ignored the letter. The letter came back again saying, and it started becoming threatening. And some of them became very vulgar as well. Um, so it turns out that, by ignoring the letters, it got angry. Then the letters were written to the husband. And at one point, let me get the name right here, Gillespie, Ron Gillespie, he had received a phone call one night and realized it was the letter writer, and left his kids at home, apparently, or allegedly, because a lot of stuff is being covered up in this case, especially through the sheriff's department and YouTube for entertainment purposes only. This is all alleged. So Ron decided to go out in his truck and apparently go confront whoever this person was. And in the process, there was an accident, and he was killed. However, at the accident scene, a bullet was missing from Ron's gun. There was no bullet holes in the truck that they could see, and they found the spent casing, but no bullet. And before they could do anything with looking into the actual physical truck itself for evidence, what does the sheriff do, Mr. Dwight Radcliffe? He decides Should I take a break or should I keep going?
Keep going, because this is the juicy part. I mean,
so
it kind
Sheriff,
of points to something wrong.
yeah. So Sheriff Dwight Radcliffe. I mean, the minute I saw this guy's picture, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I didn't like the energy,
Mm-hmm.
but he decided that that he had the truck immediately crushed.
Mm-hmm.
There was supposed to be the coroner's report saying that Ron, his alcohol level was above, was impaired. But people said that they knew that he wouldn't have driven. That was not like him. Um, and so all of that evidence um, was just, and Mary wanted, the family, and this is where it gets even juicier, is that Ron and Mary were okay, there's just too many names.
There is a lot of names.
It's a lot of players involved. A lot of players.
So we get to the Fresh Hours.
Mm-hmm.
And now I believe that Paul Fresh Hour was related to Mary. Oh, boy. Do y'all remember what you read?
Was Mary is the one that was supposedly having the affair. Was that like
Yeah.
a sister-in-law
Yeah,
or
and
something?
later on
Gillespie.
she admitted
Right.
to it, but it wasn't when the letters were coming out. Whatever.
Hi, Joan.
Hey, Joan B. So Ron and Mary were related through marriage to the Fresh Hours. Ron Gillespie at 10:25 took off in the pickup. It crashed. Bullet hole was never found. Empty shell casing. Runoff? Question mark. So I have that written down. And no, you can't come up here tonight. Gordon Massey was the Westfall superintendent, 77, accused of harassing the letter writer's girlfriend and the other bus drivers, but was also later, Massey himself was later on, ran out of town because he was accused of assaulting a young individual. So Massey still doesn't sound right to me either. I mean, the cast of characters in this thing, but what the letter writer had such insight into exactly. I know your children's names. I know your where you live. I know what your vehicle looks like. I parked out or I can see where you are right now. I mean, even the women's down to their employee ID numbers. And Carlos, fresh on his wife, Karen. It's the best name ever. Yeah. So there was another
What do you
person that got
do you have written down? I couldn't find it, but what was that boyfriend's name that had the El Camino?
the El Camino. I don't know if AJ mentioned his name. Let me see.
I was reading it and I couldn't find it, but he fit
Karen's
the
brother
description.
Karen's brother had an El Camino, and her boyfriend fitted the description given by a witness who saw the both were Mary almost lost her life with the gun trap. So what happened was there was a booby trap set up on Mary's en route, and she stopped to take the sign down because it was awful accusations. It was awful vulgar language, and she didn't want her kids to see that. And thank God she didn't pull and take the sign down, because at some point a gun with a lever attached to it was discovered. So there was a individual who was willing to testify that they actually saw when they originally drove by. They said they saw an El Camino, and they saw a man that was short. Paul is tall. Um, Set in that area, like they were setting up by the sign, and so the El Camino actually fit, Karen's brother's vehicle, and her boyfriend. It fit the description of her boyfriend that Karen. And people are saying, well, who's Karen? Was Karen more got to do with this? Karen and Paul had just gone through a really nasty divorce. Paul took everything away from her. I've got here another name. Let's see, David Lomberry, bus driver who made a pass at Mary and rejected him, was later caught abusing. Oh, this child. Oh, this is the individual abusing a young girl, 93, left town to avoid persecution. So his name is got thrown into the mix as well. So they were going through the divorce, and Karen lost everything, and they're thinking that too, because she was so pissed off at her ex-husband, that they continued. See, this is where it gets confusing because they don't know if Paul was the sole individual or if it was another individual working with him. Was it a totally different individual? And did Karen just go ahead and continue like a copycat? Um, so the woman that was supposed to be called forward to give testimony at Paul's hearing was not allowed to testify. She was denied, even though she said she had evidence. They refused. So Mary had, so what got a lot into this is that Mary had cheated on Karen's brother Ron Gillespie. So that Mary did have an affair. If she could frame Paul for the murder, she could get away with everything. So that was part of the part of the theories. Now Paul Freshour, this is where it's kind of sad because Paul's gun had been stolen, and they found out that the gun was the one that had been used to, I guess, set up the booby trap for Mary. And Paul believed that it's possible that Paul believed that his teenage son stole the gun for his mother weeks before the murders to help her. And that could be very well why the son he didn't want to bring his son into it because his son was a teenager at the time and didn't want his son's life ruined. Unfortunately, his son did take his life in 2002, and some people are thinking that might be because of out of guilt for helping, his mom go after his dad because of the divorce. So, how do we want to begin this?
I guess who's responsible
Who's
responsible for the letters?
Oh,
okay.
At start.
Well, I kind of thought it would be fun just to do an overall general so we could kind of get a picture and then start on what Scott said about
right
hooking out, but get a general read of the energy of.
But what's weird, there's no one convicted of Ron Gillespie.
Yeah.
Truck accident murder.
Yes. Because the car was crushed immediately.
The sheriff. So, and what I'm thinking is who would have the ability to get a hold of a school district's employee number. It had to be somebody that was connected. So maybe it was the superintendent, maybe it was the sheriff, the sheriff.
It certainly, there looks like there's more than one. It's people working together in some way, or multiple people, and maybe not even all of them realize it.
Right. That's the weird thing too.
That's the weird thing too. It's like they're taking
the letters continued after he was in prison.
And they were supposed to be, I believe, typed. So that's why some people are thinking that Karen had a part in it as well, to keep it going while her ex-husband was in jail, to make it look like he was still doing it from jail.
Right.
But they were like, well, why would she, and her, the sister-in-law had said, well, she has to borrow a typewriter and she didn't know why. And so once Paul was behind bars, the letters stopped for a bit, but then they picked up and they were typed instead. Let me know if that's correct, Allison. I was trying to write so fast to get all the stuff and rewinding, replaying, trying to make sure that. Hey, Mama Bear. Hi, Serena. Oh, I see Ivana up here. Hi, Ivana. So I'm going to pull a few more cards because the first three, spoke volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Who was responsible for the letters initially? Using my kipper.
Okay.
All right.
Well.
Okay, I'll put Scott in the big chair. Unless you're ready, Val.
I'm sorry. What was it?
Are you ready, or Scott? Are you ready?
I'm ready. Scott can go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Really strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a woman was the letter writer.
Oh man, I got the chills because I kind of have the same thing.
But was there a woman that was
multiple women?
Well, look at that. I'm using my supernatural deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm getting a Queen of Pentacles,
Mm-hmm.
9 of Pentacles, and Justice. And look, this woman is an officer.
Oh.
It's like it's connected to the sheriff.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chariot.
Mm-hmm.
The officer's car, kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the guy that died, Gillespie, knew something.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
he got that phone call. It drew him out.
He got that phone call and thought he figured it out.
He had knowledge here with the star.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the star.
Mm-hmm.
And look at that with the 10 of Swords. That's death.
Oh, it is.
And in the Chariot.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a cool deck.
Yeah, it's supernatural
really
deck.
Good. I like
Hangman.
that. Mm-hmm.
There was something about a relationship that went awry here that isn't reported.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Wheel of Fortune, but what makes it kind of weird with this Wheel of Fortune? What does that look like to you?
Oh yeah.
No.
It had something to do with fertility.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I think
it looks like a tampon, right?
Yes.
I don't know why, but that's what peeked out at me. It's like it may, so we're talking about secret relationships, prosperity, who's going to be with who, and then I have someone, 8 of Cups here. Someone walked away from this relationship, and it all started from like a lover's quarrel kind of thing.
Oh boy.
Okay.
In
the end, it feels like a setup, and here's the tower coming out in the end, and here's a woman. Okay, that feels like it's Karen, Paul's wife. Hierophant, some kind of governmental thing. So we're talking about an agency. It could be the school, or it could be the sheriff's department. I had the 2 of Swords. They needed to do something, and there was judgment upon someone, and a man made the judgment.
Yeah.
I think it's the sheriff and his wife, or something like that.
I think you might be right about that. Yeah.
Here, are you done, Scott?
Yeah, go ahead.
Over? Okay.
See what you guys pull out.
Okay.
It's all over.
First of all, I got an angsty teen, which kind of like makes sense with that lady and her son, helping out with that typewriter and stuff, whatever.
With the gun,
but, yeah, with the gun thing. But they hit a plateau, but I feel like more people are involved in this and are, not changing sides, but doing things from different angles. And, here's the moon showing the kind of emotion that's involved in the secrets And the blood.
Ooh, there's the blood.
There's the blood. The naked man. It's kind of like, I think of this as just stripping everyone of their secrets, putting it out there and showing like the emperor with no clothes. They're putting people into a big hole. But I got the wild woman. This is the one that might be the sheriff's wife. And I'm seeing her with a knife. But there's more involved. It's like a club of people that decided to join in on this kind of thing. Not necessarily that they let everybody know, but they're just going to show people who they are and what's going on. There's just big stuff, but it's going to come to an end, and they will figure it out eventually, I think. But I get the same thing even if I pull my deviant tarot.
There you go. There's the move.
It's the same kind of thing. They had somebody was really upset. Things were going on. They didn't like it. Characters were involved where somebody had an angry fight. They walked out. Page of Swords. Somebody's trying to get proof and get together. There's a little bit of camaraderie going on to create havoc amongst people and justice at the end. I think things will eventually come out, but I feel like it's a cast of characters.
This one.
Isadora said that the pendulum said yes to being the letter writer. So which individual did you ask though? Isadora.
I found something about a tampon card. Sorry. It's all right. Stop a leak.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's the star. Yeah, because Wheel of Fortune could be like stop a leak of a. Yeah.
Yeah, I just.
One nutty lover. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, but the.
It's like. It's like it feels like the sheriff's wife knew about the affair and just wanted some kind of revenge, but it turned into a whole mess.
Yeah, but the sheriff's wife wasn't brought into it though.
I know. That's why I think it's unsolved.
But
you never found that.
Exactly. And
so you think it's the sheriff's wife that wrote the letters?
I think she might have, according to my wild woman with the knife.
There was no mention of the sheriff's wife. That's why I'm going sheriff's wife.
He made sure she wasn't implicated. I mean,
I think, what would a sheriff know? How to set someone up?
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot better than anyone else.
A lot better, and he hid evidence. He made sure things weren't found out. It was all points to that rather than bungled,
And who can report a cop car near a death scene?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They're just there, It's like, well, that's a little suspicious. The cop car is there. He probably ran him off the road or set him up to kill Valerie.
Totally.
Well, initially I got marriage.
Oh yeah.
Wealthy man. And they're known in the community, so it's already a person spotlight that's known within the community. So that was for me a red flag for either.
It's like a Ginny Thomas.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
It's like a Ginny Thomas.
Yes, like a Ginny Thomas.
Exactly. I got expectation. There's the female, the pathway, and the journey. Not quite sure what the journey pathway, but there's the woman with expectation. I also got, and there's the letters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The letters.
Wow, nice. Got the letters.
Wow. Yep.
There's the thought. Yeah, so he's thinking, so it could be still someone. They're thinking
like
that
a
there could be two people. There's two people working together.
Yeah.
And then unexpected income to hide the evidence, possibly. That's why the whatchamacallit had the card. And then I also got Queen of Pentacles. And in this deck, she's queen of her domain. And with this deck being of a darker color, more like gothic, This feels very much like this could be Karen, possibly now bringing in possibly the sheriff's wife. But Valerie, wouldn't you know, I got that card again.
I know. See,
And I earlier said that cop, that sheriff made me feel like like he was a toad. He felt ooey. And so there's the
absolutely.
9 of cups.
You're giving me the chills too. So I think you're on to something.
So guess what? I know. Lucky's on your side. I'm here to help you.
Right.
And then of course I also got the 10 of wands, and there she is. It's like on fire. The truth is right there. And then I pulled from another deck, and of course summoning, and there's the woman bringing this all on. And then I got obedience, but it's also a justice card having to do with court and law system. So there again, Karen too wanted justice for, how she, lost everything to Paul during the divorce. Yep. And the last card I got was strength. So that might have been her strength. Her strength suit was that she was able to call or summon. But the women keep coming. Then I got the choices. Choices have to be made. There's the individual. And again, another female. And then what do police enforcement and stuff do when they take an oath? So I'm getting a lot of the female, the oath taking, the justice system, and the being open and connected to the community. I mean, those first 3 cards with marriage automatically, and it's like that would bring into 3 different marriages then, because you've got Ron and Mary, when this whole thing started out with, and then the Karen and Paul Fresh Hour, and then now possibly the sheriff. So there's definitely a female, male. I mean, this card keeps making me feel like it was 2 people involved to start out with. 2 people, a male and a female. I don't know if we wanted to throw on people individually just to kind of maybe figure out exactly which marriage, or I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, this is so.
So I tossed on if Paul wrote the letters, and I'm getting a no. I had the Ace of Wands, 7 of Wands, and the Hierophant. Okay. So that feels like it's a distraction. So the Ace of Wands is the created action of these letters. What I'm sensing here, Ace of Wands. And then the 7 of Wands is my confusion card. Set up confusion by someone else, some other entity. And then I have 9 of coins, and here's the woman again. There's 9 of coins here in this deck. It's a woman. And then the 5 of swords is like the embattlement and the chaos. And then we have death. They had to end it. So I don't think he was the letter writer here with these cards coming up. So then I tossed on, what about Karen, the upset, ex-wife? Okay, what's her part in this scenario? Because there was this whole thing about the container in the box, with the gun and everything.
It was all set up to shoot her poison.
I think this is totally different scenario. Someone else did that, not the sheriff. This may have been revenge from Karen. Yeah. And the whole scenario of the letters and the death of Ron is totally different. This is just in the mix. So I have a false person with Karen here. She was trying to distract from something. there was concern. I think it had to do with her divorce and losing money or something.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have an official person coming in. It could be her boyfriend.
Oh.
You know, and then trying to create a family here with a family room.
Yeah.
And then we have that message of concern and gift. That's the box. We're going to give you something here. So that letter or that, posting there to give a sign. But, it's just crazy how you can make this all happen and no one would really see anything, but it's supposed to be for a bus driver, for
All
Mary.
starting from a bus driver. Yep. That's when the letters started coming up.
That's just,
It all had to do with Mary
there could
being
be so many other
accused.
people that come up on that gun scenario, that booby trap.
Yeah, because it all just the letters themselves did not initially start until Mary got a letter, that first letter from someone claiming that she knew that they knew that she was having an affair with the superintendent, John Massey, and that
Or
it
Gordon.
needed to be admitted. Oh, wait a minute. What was his?
Gordon Massey.
Gordon Massey, excuse me. And that, it was to be immediately acknowledged and she was to quit. I mean, that's what started off right there, was that initial letter, was that this person wanted, the community to know. They wanted the city, they wanted their town to keep their dignity, their integrity, and these kind of people needed to be outed and needed to admit their guilt, to be ashamed, and to basically leave. Okay. Hi, Jules. Sorry, I'm missing some people.
Isadora is saying strong no on Karen being the letter writer. There you go.
Okay.
Not getting that either. I'm going to try the old dowsing rods to see what that does.
The letter stopped when Paul was released from jail. Who died at that time?
The letter stopped.
I can't remember who.
Jail. Who died at that time?
I don't know about any deaths. I know people died later, like they were mentioning someone in '93, the son in 2002. Let me just. Hello, Paj Badina, or Badina. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I mispronounced your name.
The rods say no. Paul is not the letter writer.
Okay.
They went no. Let's see. What else I want to
add? Yeah, I got the Three of Swords for it, as if Paul was the letter writer, and I got the Three of Swords. So no, it caused him absolute pain. Six of Swords, having to basically deal with this and defend himself, and the Knight of Cups wanting to release. He was just too much of a good person. Knight of Cups, he was a loving individual. He didn't have anything to do with this. But then again, I also got Judgment again. So somebody in either personal judgment or having to do with the court system. Then I got the Queen of Swords. I think Scott, you got the Queen of Swords as well. And then I got also the Six of Wands. So there's still a woman that is involved, along with I got House, and I got the Journey again, and Occupation, and I also too did get the Official person as well, along with the main female. There's just so many players. I'm going to put. Did you get anything else? Oh,
just saying. Yeah. Everything I said with the cards, my dowsing rods has said yes. That Karen and the boyfriend were that they were responsible for the bomb or the trap.
Yeah.
That the sheriff was the one that did it. Paul didn't write the letters, it said. So yeah. At least that's what the dowsing rods say. And my cards. Mm-hmm. Unless I'm influencing the rods, but who knows?
Yeah, that's with pendulum. I have to make sure. Val, did you get anything else that you want me to put you on the big screen?
I just wanted to say that it looks like the sheriff has a lot of guilt involved in this. When I did all the cards, it seemed like he was again, I got the magnet, the hot springs, and sunken ship. Then I pulled some normal tarot, and this is my yes card, the Empress, Knight of Wands, and I get him, walking away because he definitely doesn't want to get caught, but he had illusions or delusions about how he was going to come in with his sword, his white knight, but he was driven by emotional problems. I think he had something going on that made him feel conflicted. I don't know. Maybe he was doing things with his wife and it just ended up being that way. But I got for his wife, Drunken Sailor, Maze, Wrestling.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The forest, like forest for the trees.
Well, that's where the truck accident took place.
Yeah, it seemed like that.
In the woods. Yep.
But this jail cell card came out at the very end, and I feel they were trying to create situations. That's what I get from this wound.
And got him into the jail cell.
Yeah, and I feel like, really feel like they were contributing toward all of it. But I also think other people might be involved doing their own thing, taking this opportunity to.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it's back in the 70s, something became popular called the Casserole Club. They actually did a movie on it.
Oh.
And it was about couples that were married couples that would get together, and they were basically, that was what swinging was in the back.
Yeah.
Back in the day, multiple couples coming together. They would put their keys into a bowl, and whoever drew one out was going to be the spouse that spouse of yours went to.
Wow.
So I'm wondering if this might have been something that went.
Wait, you're all into kinky things, huh, Heather?
The only reason why I knew,
that's not wrong, because I have to say we are naive. We don't know, even in Middle America, this kind of thing is going on with the wife swapping things to this day.
A key party.
Even in the GOP, we hear about it, right? So, we're naive. We just don't realize how common it is.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
You really don't.
Did we figure out who was, did we figure out who? But did we get an idea of who we thought was the initial card writer that started this whole thing?
No.
I still get it. The sheriff's wife.
I think the sheriff helped her, and if I'm going to put my money on anything, I would say Scott's right. The sheriff's wife. She is the one.
The sheriff's wife in the parlor room with the candlestick.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a profile on
Roger Stone parties. Ew.
Who is going to get upset? She probably had fond feelings for Mary Gillespie's husband, Ron, and she probably felt sorry that he was going to go through some stuff with her affair, with Mary's affair, and that's how she started doing this. Then she ended up with, saying her husband, either he helped her from the beginning or he found out after, but he definitely took that truck or vehicle, and he got rid of the evidence. Yeah. He did things to help her.
And the other people who came forward on Paul's behalf were turned away from testifying. And when he went up for parole, they kept insisting. Even his lawyer was like, he's not writing these cards. I mean, these letters. We keep it. Even the people who were watching him in jail were like, there's no way he's writing these letters. And they kept saying, no, he's it. And so they made sure that people with money in place of power kept Paul in there for as long as they could.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna toss really quick and see if Sheriff Dwight Radcliffe's wife had anything to do with.
I tossed some cards. It didn't show me any key parties, swinger parties. It's not showing me like the lovers or anything like that. It just feels more revenge. Like holding on to values and 3 of Swords. There's some heartbreak there and revenge. I get the car again with the Chariot. Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, 8 of Swords, Judgment upon others. It's like loss of marriages or something here.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah, and Kala Lizzie is right. Mary Gillespie, if anyone's seen her picture, she was drop dead gorgeous.
She was gorgeous. Absolutely.
I can see.
She'd be an object of someone's jealousy and affection, from whoever's perspective.
Sending mail.
Yeah.
Actually, I really think it's possible that she was involved. I got the 3 of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
She's crafting
the idea.
Crafting together. The King of Wands, which could possibly be her husband, but at the same time, he's got blood coming out of the corner of his mouth. So it's like not necessarily an actual vampire, but he was sucking the life dry out of her, the marriage. And then the last card there too, 5 of Wands. There's a couple, they can't even look at each other. And then I've got also the 9 of Swords, the Death card, I think literally. And then the 2 of Cups with, blood on the dress, on the ends. So, yeah.
Mary Gillespie's husband was dead. He couldn't have done the booby trap.
Yeah, he was the one that was killed in the
Ron Gillespie's the one that died in the car
truck.
crash.
He got the phone call and he knew who it was. Then he ended up dead.
Yep, and that's why they said that they made it say that, his alcohol blood level was above, the legal limit. And within
no one was convicted of that. He just died.
Yeah.
It was or said it was a drunken accident.
Right.
And so and the truck was immediately, they said the only thing that was found was the empty shell casing and a bullet missing out of his gun. And the family kept saying, we want you to investigate on this. And the sheriff wouldn't. He just said, nope, keep case closed. And it was obvious that there was more to, than it was just, an accident. So, oh boy.
Yeah, a lot of players, really strange. But that's still find that funny. People get bored in the suburbs. And then you keep parties.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like that.
But yet you got kids that were involved too now that lost a father, and they have this, hanging, over them all these years.
I couldn't even imagine myself. I couldn't even imagine myself going up to the neighbors, like, hey, are you happy with your wife? Would you like to do a key party? Like, if they say no.
Well, it was the sexual revolution, Scott, back then.
Oh,
exactly.
Women with the clubs and, the cocaine and everything just, overflowing.
Yeah,
look at
my husband used to live in Minnesota, and he wasn't married to me at the time, but he got invited to one of those parties.
Oh.
And he was married too. And he thought, what would I ever go to one of those parties? And that was back in that time period, that era.
Yeah.
And of course, he never went, but I'm saying he just randomly it's happened. It happens.
Yeah, I pulled again.
Nowadays, they would, probably just put out Craigslist things. Hey, if you're interested.
Exactly. Sure.
Yeah.
Back then, you had to talk to people.
Absolutely. Somebody actually had to talk.
I just don't get it. It's kind of weird.
I pulled a few more for Karen, and I think she was a part of the second half of it all, because there's the fool. She felt like she was taking a fool. He did leave her destitute. He got the kids. He got his retirement. He got everything. She lost everything. And I think she decided to take matters into her own hands. I got the magician created, and she went out for him. I mean, look at that dagger.
Yeah.
She was out for blood.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she probably used the boyfriend, using the
they
body
said
as
that
a
the
weapon or
brothers,
something. Using her
brother
body as
owned
a
El
weapon or something.
Camino, and then the brother, yeah. Ooh, I wonder if I can. I think I might throw some cards and see if it was the boyfriend who set up the trap.
The trap.
Because that female witness who was willing to come forward and testify, and they wouldn't let her, said that they saw a man fitting that description. So did Mary's boyfriend, not Mary's,
Karen.
friend. There's too many of them.
I know. There's a lot.
4 of Swords.
Oh my goodness.
7 of Swords.
Jeez.
I think it was Karen's idea and the boyfriend did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting a lot of swords here.
Mm-hmm.
I got 6 of Swords. I got 5 of Swords again with the dagger coming for the Queen of Wands. That was her temperament. That was her. She wanted this done. He, whatever she wished for, he granted it. Do this for me. 4 of Wands. Yeah. 6 of Pentacles. She probably, had to pay, and of course, too, you got the balance there for justice. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Karen Sue.
I'm telling you, I did even the starseed cards.
She was the original Karen of the Karens.
I mean, I got weight, and it shows her. Even starseed cards show it's her.
Oh my goodness!
Here she is, dreaming all this stuff up. She went through the door and decided to do it. And here she is, kind of like all her personalities, the sides of herself coming out, doing all these different things. But I got the Great Sever, kind of like her, whatever she did kind of severed her from her higher self. And she is sorry. She's sorry it happened. She's sorry she went all the way to perpetuate all this misery, which most people are after. But yeah, I think that kind of says what she went through. But I like this showing all her.
What's got
the comments? Don't mess with the Karens.
And then from all who Karens love.
I'm telling you, do not mess with.
No offense to Karens.
Yeah, I pulled a different deck too, asking about Karen, and how do I do this again? I got Success, so yes, that it was her.
Yeah,
she wanted to create chaos, wanted to destroy, and it was because of the differences between her and Mary, and she didn't like,
she was jealous.
Yeah, there's the differences. I mean, look at that white cat giving that black cat some shade. That's
it's giving him some shade.
It's like, and it's all over apples and oranges too. Those are apples and oranges. So it was over something stupid.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
I got the
but
7.
The jealousy and animosity was already there. Yeah.
Here's your Karen.
There it is.
Ouch.
The 7 of Swords.
Is right.
Mine's the 5 of Swords, but yeah, she's got her dagger in her hand too.
I'm gonna have to get me some supernatural deck now.
I know. I never liked the show.
I got this as a gift from someone. I like it. It's really it's a good mystery deck.
Oh, it's a great mystery deck.
Now, were you into watching the show, or is it just you like the artwork on the deck?
Oh, I love Supernatural.
Oh, do you?
Well, my daughters watched like the first. They were in love, because when they were younger, they thought they were just gorgeous. Those two, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they watched like 4 or 5 seasons. They were obsessed, and I never really watched it. And they said, Dad, you gotta watch it. So finally, I started watching. I'm like, oh my God, this is good. So then I had to go back and watch
Wow. Interesting. That's how I feel about A Discovery of Witches. To me, that was a great show. They had planned it for 3 seasons, and just the production, the story writing, the music. I mean, everything. It would be nice if someone did a deck for that show, and for me, Charm too, the original.
Yeah, I like
but
that
Supernatural, too. I just could not get into it. Maybe
me too. I have to say, Heather, I think it was that kind of some of the stuff seemed pretty dark with the demon stuff and all that.
Yeah. And a lot of it too, kind of misrepresenting.
That's how I
like
felt.
Charm did too, but at least Charmed in the beginning tried to teach people. But you know what would be a great deck, especially for crime? Oh my God, would be one from Bones. I used to love watching Bones.
I just saw Bones today. Yeah.
That would be a great deck.
Yeah, it would.
Let's see, the Supernatural. I'm terrible with that stuff. Yeah, Kyle Lizzie doesn't like the scary stuff. Hi, Patricia. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Patricia.
So, are there any other questions that we wanted to throw on, or do we think we pretty much got the gist of?
Yeah, I think we got it.
I think we do.
Do you want to see if they're ever going to come to find out the truth? If anybody's going to come forward?
This long? It hasn't been. How long has it been?
It was in 77.
I mean,
it all transpired. So.
Let's see. Oh, this article I'm looking at just a few weeks ago from the U.S. Sun.
Yeah. They're still interested in all this many years later. Yeah.
Let's see. I think it was just someone rehashing the article.
It's salacious. It has a lot of draw power.
Yeah, I've been accused from time to time. My investigative tarot and stuff like this is for salacious, but for me, I just like to toss some cards and find the truth behind things that really happened. It's not
I think it will come out because everybody's been shielded so far, but something new is happening. Key is going to come, and here's the sun coming out. So I think some enlightenment, maybe not legalities of it, but a almost certainty of who. I don't even know if they're all still alive, but
I know I got the 9 of Pentacles, and then right in the middle I got the Lovers, and then I got the Queen of Cups. So someone may come forward, say
that's it.
Like with this here, the light's coming behind her, or it could be maybe one of the children that might know the truth. Who knows? But might come forward and say, "Okay, it's time to."
Even on a deathbed,
let this go.
To let it go. Right.
They've been holding on to it. I mean, the 9 of Pentacles, kind of guarding and protecting, and what you've created or what's been held, and just to kind of come forward finally and share.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very interesting. Am I missing anything, Scott?
No, I don't think so. Just a crazy one.
Just the crazy one.
Yeah. It's a crazy story.
Oh, yeah.
It is a crazy story.
He basically went to jail for very limited evidence.
Can you imagine that? They wanted to put him in jail so that people would stop looking for the real person.
Until then the letter started up again.
Yeah.
So because of the other one.
Exactly.
Well, Lisa, I hope you feel better, hon. Sending you lots of love. I don't know about y'all, but the last couple of days there has just been this very heavy energy.
Oh,
Like
totally.
I'm waiting for something.
Yeah.
I don't like putting that energy out there, but it just feels like something's ready to happen. And I think it kind of started Tuesday when I heard about, Scott probably heard about this, but one of our Buffalo Bills had a heart attack on the field
I seen that.
on Monday. And I haven't looked yet. They don't know if he's going to make it or not. He got hit, I guess, too hard in the chest during a tackle, got up, he seemed okay, and then just collapsed. And it took at least 4 minutes for them to get an ambulance. So he was basically dead for like 9 minutes.
Yeah, they
24
revived
years
him.
old.
They revived him on the field and at the hospital, I guess.
And right now he's in critical condition. 24 years old.
Oh, it's just.
And so it started all right because, Sunday, Monday, things just weren't feeling right. And then having phone calls with the family and talking to something with family. And then it just feels like there's some ominous energy. And
there was a report today. He made improvements. He's on 50% oxygen now instead of 100. Okay. So he is making improvements today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. Damar is his name. Damar Hamlin. 24 years old. That's why it's like we love it when these guys get out there, but
it's so rare. But if you get hit with a softball, a hockey stick, whatever, at the right time,
at the right spot,
it'll throw your heartbeat way out of whack.
And Joan B says. And Joan B has said the same thing. She's been feeling extra nervous, so I'm not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, it wasn't nervous. Like I was telling you prior, it's like my head energy is way off. I feel like my ears are like plugged.
Like the last 2 weeks, I felt, not myself. Like something weird, heavy energy. Yeah.
Oh, Jules Niner likes your do.
Yeah, it's starting to grow out. Thank God. Well, she I actually had, my scalp almost showing through in certain areas. She did it really that bad. So I've been able to actually stop wearing a hat now because it's starting to fill in. So but yeah, football is dangerous. Yes. Oh, hi, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry.
Yeah, like that New York Jets player that got paralyzed, on the field that one time. So it's scary.
Oh, you guys.
It's the belly dancer. I want another belly dancer.
Your boyfriend's not supposed to call while you're on vacation.
Gary letter into Paul Freshauer. Now, when are you going to believe you aren't getting out of there? I told you 2 years ago that we set them up. They stay set up. Yes, thank you, Isadora. That's where my confusion was coming in with our reading. This was actually said.
Paul. Yeah, let me read that again.
Paul was involved in some way.
You're getting out of there. I told you 2 years ago. We set them up. They set them up. Wow.
They stay set up. So Paul probably did something thinking, really nothing of it. How could it come back and bite me on the ass? But it did.
Yeah.
So there's still something. Thank you, Isadora, because I still feel like.
Thanks for that research.
Paul had some, connection, but not, I don't think, in having anything to do with, the death of the individual. Cookies are in the oven. Oh my God, Jules, that sounds so good. I want cookies. I have chocolate chip ice cream cookies in the freezer, but nothing beats a nice batch of hot chocolate chip cookies with a glass of tall milk.
Definitely.
All righty. Well, Val, I know you got to get ready for your dinner date.
Yeah, got a dinner to go to. Eat some more food and dessert.
Well, when you have 9 gourmet restaurants on your resort, why not?
I know. I'm going to have to go on a big diet after this.
And Scott, you probably need to eat dinner.
Yep. Dinner time.
And I need to
soon
go
after
start
this.
mine. Oh, thank you, Eric. Allison, one of these nights you got to join us. I want you on a mystery or on a
Yeah, yeehaw.
missing
Practice makes
persons true
perfect.
crime. I think you'd be
Especially
excellent at that.
mysteries are awesome because
Yeah, mysteries are good.
you're tuning into different things you don't even know about, and it helps
Yeah,
the intuition a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. And there's a
Definitely.
lot of mysteries out there to be read on and even old ones are now getting a new twist.
Well, I
And
sent you
so,
that other one from the Y Files. That was really interesting too.
which one was that?
Oh, I can't even remember. I
Oh,
sent you
yeah,
two of them
AJ's
to
got
look
a
at.
lot of them.
I sent you two of them to look at, and the other one you chose the Circleville for this one.
Oh, I didn't remember seeing the second one. Okay, I just saw the Circleville,
It
and I
was
was like, oh
it
yeah.
was the dark hole, the hole down to the earth
Yeah, I've seen
in
that
Russia.
Wi-Fi. Right,
Oh,
that's a good one.
yeah. Let's read on that one.
That's a good one.
We can do that another night.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Not tonight, Scott.
Remember,
I mean,
I text you. I found they made a movie out of it, and I found it.
Oh.
I downloaded. I can't remember what it.
well,
Some
once
app.
Hollywood gets a hold of something, though,
Yeah,
There was some app that I could get it for free.
there's that the dark hole. They said it sounds like people. They said, if I'm thinking right, it's where they said there's so much noise coming from it. It almost sounds like people are screaming from hell.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh
that
please,
there's
no,
hell down
no.
there. The movie's called Nine Miles Down.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I
think
think
I
it was
tried looking that up
from
and
the
I couldn't get
'90s. I
it.
think it was some movie app I downloaded. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, where I found it, I had to pay
I
for
watched
it.
it for
I'm like,
free. Oh, I downloaded the Peacock app.
Peacock app?
Peacock, yeah. I think it's the NBC app. And I watched it for
Okay.
free.
Was
That's
it
the only
any
place I
good?
could find it.
Was it close to what they've been, you know, is it really factual based, or do they
Not
take a lot
really,
of? No,
but you'll get the gist of
get the
you
gist
know
of it. Okay.
the deep hole. The scientific discovery of the deep hole and whatnot.
And no licking the dark holes.
Especially if you hear
Screaming
helicopters.
voices coming out. Well, this is a joke going way back with Andrea and Scott's
good.
Mystery Theaters. We
I'm
always had fun
glad.
picking on them
That
about
and
looking
Apple
fairy
are the
holes
ones
and cave holes, and
we don't have a
Gotcha.
little.
so
Gotcha.
it's a long going joke. So
I have an Android. I just looked on Google Play and found. Well, I searched the movie first, and then it shows you how you can watch it.
Mhm.
And I downloaded the Peacock app, and I watched it for free.
Mhm.
So
hey, Allison, if you want to join us for that, let me know. That would be cool. We can do the dark hole.
but yeah, there's been that, tries all around the world with different countries trying to
See how far they can drill
dig to
down.
the center of Earth, and that was supposedly the longest one, but others could never make it past 2 miles or something. They had to quit.
Mhm.
Yeah, because their drills would start breaking, or the machines would
Get too
start
hot.
breaking.
Earth
Yeah.
would get too hot. Yeah. But how back in the '60s could that Russians or wherever that was get down 9 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, did you and
Crazy.
Andrea read on that, or is that something we could read on?
No, I've never run it before.
Oh, I'll look that up too.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Russian.
it's the same thing. That's the story.
Oh, that's the whole
Mhm.
story. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh my God.
Yeah, 9 miles down. It's the big hole they made, and they abandoned it after
And they
that
abandoned it.
crazy
Yeah, I
stuff
think people
was
got
around.
scared.
Mhm.
So,
They got scared.
all righty. Well, thank you everybody for joining us,
Thank you.
and look out for the dark hole,
Yeah.
Oh,
and we'll be reading on that. So,
it's a good story.
everyone have a great evening. Thank you, And thank you, Scott and Val, for joining me, even though this was a little confusing. And I probably didn't
Yeah,
help much with my
it's one of the more confusing stories. A lot of
Yeah.
players.
I might even go back later on and reread and pull some extra cards on some other things. So, but thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.